Morning, you're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God. It is Wednesday, March 4th.
Is it?
Is it Wednesday?
Feels like a
How
Monday.
come we never know what the day is? Around?
Feels like a Monday. I think it is Wednesday, but feels like a Monday.
Feels like a Monday. That is for sure. But it is a Wednesday, March 4th. Thanks for joining us this early in the morning for a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Get it fired up. First Sky Omaha. In the morning. Money. And welcome once again. My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God.
Hey.
Yeah. And thank you for all you, the chat chimers that are getting up early with us this morning, ghost listeners that are going to be tuning in today, and also all the monitoring spirits that will tune in and never tell us. We appreciate you guys all showing up on this Wednesday, and we hope that if you miss any parts of this broadcast that you go back and check it out on YouTube. While you're there, do us a favor, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. While you're here right now, do us a favor, share the show. If you're on Facebook, you can share it on your page, and if you're on YouTube, you can share the link. And let's get as many people in the conversation as we can today. It'd be a good day to have a discussion. Now, we're anticipating special guest, Zedeka Poindexter, coming in from the Nebraska Writers Collective. We'll be talking to her about some things with the kids. You know, First Guy loves the kids.
Hey.
It's going down. And so it'll be us, her, all of you. How y'all doing today? How you doing today, buddy?
Man, feeling all right. Could have used a couple more winks. Just a little bit more.
Always.
He tired, boss. But yeah, definitely looking forward to today's episode. A lot to talk about, a lot to get into. Got some thoughts I want to share with y'all. Definitely, get your take on some things going on and some predictive futures. I'm using that word intentionally. Just remember that. Predictive futures. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Doing some weird sleeping. I don't understand what the whole wake up in the middle of the night, can't get back to sleep, get tired an hour before I got to get up, all that type of stuff going on. So yeah, changing weather. I guess we got daylight savings getting ready to happen. So changing just time. I guess maybe that's part of the reason. Not sure. Restlessness.
Please tell me. What's the weather looking like out there today? I mean, it's been kind of crazy last couple of weeks. What's going on?
It's gonna be a rainy day today. It's got some drizzle happening, but it is gonna be a little bit warmer, which I'm cool with. It's 40 right now. It's gonna get up to 50 with some cloudy kind of rain.
Okay.
Type of situation. I mean, it's bearable. Like it ain't below zero snow, so that's all I can say about it.
I mean, that's below zero one day, 80 the next. That's
Yes, wow.
How you not get sick?
This is true. Pops is having a good day. He says that good Wednesday morning and mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops. Yes. Also, Marlon Harrison says good morning, First Sky family, and happy Wellness Wednesday. That's always good to think about that. Also, Leah Keiser gives us a what's up Wednesday. How you doing? Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning. Good to see you. She says, I wish I could have slept through a whole night. Yeah, me too.
Man, come on. You too?
Me too. I don't understand. I don't get it. It's very strange. I see PA Blog 1711. Not sure who that is. In the morning. That's what's up.
Is that Pops? Who's that?
No, Pops already spoke earlier on another. I don't think he has two names, so
that's the ghost account.
Yeah.
The burner account.
I don't think he really plays like that. RG gives us some morning, y'all. We appreciate you guys getting up this morning with us. Thanks for joining us. Also, like we said earlier, please share the show. Special guest, Zedeka Poindexter, coming in. We really have a lot to talk about when it comes to our poetry scene and writing scene out here because it's pretty heavy. Thanks to folks like Zedeka Poindexter, Jewel Rogers.
All right.
Matt Mason.
Michelle Trotskler.
There's some Felicia Webster.
All right.
We just had a birthday.
P got corner.
Yeah. There's some heavy hitters out here doing the thing. We'll be talking about it and talking to her about how to get the youth involved in a big way as well. Before we get going on anything though, I got the elephant in the room. Big meeting today at Big Mama's Hungry Club. Yeah. Meet the candidates. It was supposed to be Michaela Danner, from what I understand, first by herself, and then this came out, and everybody was like, "What?" Klein's gonna show up.
Klein.
This is what happens now. Is as much as we've been talking about this dude, and as much as much of a problem he has in this community. Very interesting that he would show up here for Big Mama's Hungry Club. Like,
Dang.
just think about what that means. We don't see him ever hardly.
Honestly, I think it's a thing, man. I've heard some people mention this, and I really, really think that it's actually a fundamental piece of American democracy and culture that we're missing. Like good old town halls, like make elected officials actually stand in front of people, and then
My
man,
point is that this dude don't show up until election time. That's we don't see him ever in the neighborhood. It's election time, and I'm shocked that he's gonna be here. So
hey,
whatever they had to do to make this happen, that's what's up. I think everybody ought to go to this. It's today at 1:30 this afternoon if you can possibly make it. Go to Big Mama's and join this hungry club. Meet the candidate. They're lining this up like meet the candidates. I'm hoping it's gonna be more like a debate. Bring your cameras.
man,
Make sure your cameras are charged and capture all this for real. We'll be talking about a little bit more in the show here, but that's I just had to address that. This is blowing up all over the place. Very interesting that Don Klein's going to be here. Very interesting to see who's going to show up for this. Yeah, it's going to be something for real, for real. Pops in the chat says I had oral surgery yesterday at 4 p.m. Ooh, Pops. So he says so. I have stayed up all night, literally sitting in the recliner and watching Survivor and hoping I would survive. Ooh,
oh man, no
yeah,
power.
I'm glad you got that taken care of, but man, how you doing now? I'm glad that since it sounds like you're up and about it, so appreciate you, appreciate you joining us today. Anthony
Man,
Rice says, "Yes, buddy. Why are so many candidates hiding this year
just in general,
in general?"
just
Also,
the
Ellen
people.
Jackson gives us a good morning, first guy in the morning. Appreciate you, cuz. Thanks for coming in again, man. We really appreciate everybody getting up early with us this morning. And even though it's not a Love Supreme Friday, it is a Wednesday.
Man,
I'm still really looking forward to our Love Supreme guest, man. Zedeka
oh
Poindexter.
yeah,
She's a consummate artist. Gets down, fights everything with art, and I'm really glad that she can come on the show today for sure, for sure. Yep. Anyway, with that said, I guess I can jump into a couple little things here with the
yeah.
community updates. Now that we
Dang,
started talking about them,
little things ain't nothing big going on in the community. Couple little things.
there's always a couple little things going on in the community for sure. We can talk about all of it. We already talked about this, but this is the thing right here. That's the thing. You guys got to
Yeah,
show up to that.
big thing.
Also, shout out to Revive, which is also part, in partnership with the Empowerment Network and a lot of these other organizations that are here. They got the State of Black Business coming. This is March 7th at the Revive Center. I went to one of these and was very floored by how many black businesses and organizations were there. All the range, you're able to do business in our community in a big way because the network really does have everything that you need to do everything. So, you can see by some of the names here, some of the organizations that are going to be here. It is one of the best black networking situations that I've been in anywhere really,
Mm.
especially here in Omaha. So let's get down and come through Revive Center, Omaha, 24th and Lake. Be able to hear some of the presentations from some of the businesses that are there. As you can see, some of the places that are sponsoring this Revive, of course, Carver Legacy Center, HR Minded, young cat that runs this organization called HR Minded. That's really something else. Also, Hayes and Associates. I just talked to my team yesterday about some accounting, and Hayes and Associates has got a great rep for all those things. They're one of the sponsors as well. And of course, Empowerment Network. Anyway, yeah, definitely come check this out if you have any inclination towards business or if you're in business. It's just too good of a resource. You got to come down and be a part of this,
Mhm.
this situation here. This is Saturday, March 7th, of course, right there on 24th and Lake, the most important black corner in Nebraska.
The deuce.
The Deuce Revive Center Omaha. Come down, check it out. It'll definitely be worth doing.
Man.
Also, this is coming up too. As a matter of fact, I met Brother Ewing, Mary Ewing's brother Eric Ewing, who runs the Great Plains Black History Museum on the street. He said, "This is the David and Goliath situation here. Make David prevail." He says, "Vote on this. This is in the Omaha Tourist. This is for the OMA Tourism Awards. We're getting some looks
Hmm.
from the tourist sector of Nebraska more than we have in a long time. So between Great Plains Black History Museum, between the North Omaha Visitor Center, the tourism sector is really looking at us and got us on the map here. So you can go here, hit the scan the QR code there, and vote for Great Plains Black History Museum being one of the destinations for people who
Hmm.
come in out of town and they want to know where to go. They're on the list. You can vote for them, so they need your vote. I told them right there on the street I'd vote, and I'd go ahead and put this on the show too, so we can get
Yeah.
some action over here. So definitely check that out. It'll be in Friends of First Sky Omaha as well. The QR code that you can hit there and go give them a like over there on Facebook too if you're on Facebook for sure.
Man, can I share a couple thoughts on a couple of
Please,
those things?
yeah,
Yeah. First of all, that revive situation reminded me of the conversation we had towards the end of last episode. So again, the viability of black businesses in our community, is it enough? Do we have enough to support it? Do we have enough businesses to provide what you need? Only supporting black businesses. So yeah, I would urge everybody. It was a very spirited conversation. Go check it out with that conversation in mind. Like, what I'm saying, is there enough out there? And also to that same extent, man, what they're doing with the Deuce, and shout out to brother William or Ewing
hmm
in the Black Plains History Museum. Like, think about when you see tourist videos for like New Orleans, and there's clips of them out in the French Quarter, and different areas have tourist videos, and like national commercials, tourism commercials. Why can't the Dukes be highlighted in a Nebraska tourism commercial that you might see in California, or you might see somewhere else, like come visit Nebraska? That would be a good look. Definitely go a long way towards financial, bringing in some dollars to the
right.
community, even beyond what's available in our community already. So, some thoughts, man. Let's push it, push the line.
Yeah, there's some. As a matter of fact, the Great Plains. I saw the plans for the new building that's going to be built over there. So that building's going to be something else too, and it is going to be that they're going to be featured in some of this Visit Omaha stuff. All this stuff is really kind of coming together as far as 24th and Lake Street area. So we definitely are dedicated to trying to help the area in this transitional period where things are getting some national looks. Business is building. Things are kind of coming together, and this is we feel like if it happens in the epicenter there, then it'll spread out in other places as well. And of course, there's stuff going on 30th Street around here. Florence has been having changes, but 24th
Man,
and Lake Street area is just such an important space for. We called it we were talking about it being a business district. There's already a BID, a business district there. And there's going to be an art district there as well. They're working on that. And then the tourism part of it is huge too, with the North Omaha Visitor Center being connected to visitors to visit Omaha and all these other places. They're getting some looks, so
man.
it's definitely here for the taking. So we will definitely jump in and be a part of that as much as we can. And then that's pretty much it, right? Oh, well, one fun thing that's happened to Tech Nine and E40.
Hey, hey, hey.
They going on tour, man. This is some veteran MCs right here that's been doing it in the game for a long time, and I'm kind of proud they're gonna kick their tour off in La Vista. They're gonna kick their tour
Man,
right out here. That's what's
Omaha
up.
area,
Yeah,
Metro.
getting down. Tech Nine
Yeah,
E40. Yeah, best. It's like my two worlds. Like
man.
Midwest, West Coast. Gonna start.
Connection.
Gonna start in Omaha. It sounds like it would
Yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah. Worlds colliding. I actually got to meet Tech Nine when I was down here. He pulled up on us on the Coalition DJs for some artists that he was pushing. Definitely cool guy. Big shout out to Tech Nine. Of course, there's actually some couple of Omaha artists assigned to Strange Music. Man, shout out to Doc B Box, who's his tour DJ, and then
Yeah,
also, of course, King ISO, Omaha North alum, by the way. Visa up, Visa up. Yes, 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 yes. On tour with yeah. So yeah. Shout out Omaha Connection, Omaha
yeah.
Connection.
And
Man,
shout out to Strange Music. Shout out to Tech Nine just for making the Midwest. He's from the
yeah.
Midwest. He bigs up Omaha all the time. He's been one of the great tours that comes through. He brings everybody he signs through Omaha. I did a little time working with Jay Wilcher, who did sound over at what used to
Hey,
be the Sokol Auditorium, and that's where I met Tech Nine. He was just like, yeah, anytime I'm in town, I call Jay. He's my guy. So so yeah, and Jay Wilcher says that the Tech Nine shows are some of the most technical and professional shows that he's ever mixed.
Oh yeah,
So
oh
yeah,
yeah,
so it's gonna be
man.
good. It's gonna be good,
Oh yeah.
man. I can't wait.
Oh,
Can't wait.
also, I got a couple of community apps of my own, if that's all
Okay.
right. Just
Yeah.
just two, just a two pair, just two pair. While we
Oh,
talking about that, just reminded me.
about to get you the
Shout
banner.
out to brother Calvin Williams. Yeah, yeah, put the banner back up. Shout out to brother Calvin Williams or White Rhino. I saw that they got the new stage for the shows, man. So again, shout out to them. Some things that are happening in the community. Definitely looking forward to speaking of professional production value, what that might mean for the North Omaha festivals. Definitely during the Native North Omaha days, of course. White Rhino, brother Calvin, they do the festival every year at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation grounds, and then of course they're doing some things at the Gene Leahy Mall. So yeah, big shout out to that brother. I think that's some Insorg dollars helped with that. So yeah, take that for what it is. And then also, secondly, on some there you go, see it on your screen. And then secondly, on some East Omaha love, we're talking about the Black Plains History Museum. I heard El Museo Latino just opened back up on the south side.
Yeah.
Again, some 24th Street love. So again, shout out to our brothers and sisters on the south side. That museum opening back up as well. I think that was some Insorg dollars went into that as well. So yeah.
Yep.
Follow the money a little bit.
Yeah, I got shout out to Calvin putting that post out, man, where he kind of thanked Senator Terrell McKinney, Senator Justin Wayne for that. We can't forget that they work real hard in the legislature to get hundreds of millions of dollars in. And
Man,
even though everybody had a better idea on what to do with it and everything, and people weren't happy about it, a lot of good did come from it as well. And so I'm really happy that people give some shots out and give some credit where credit's due on that, for real. That's a huge
man,
thing.
big
That's
time, big
huge.
time, big time.
Sean McCarthy's in the chat saying good morning, First Sky team and chat chimers. I appreciate you coming on through.
Hey,
Also, Alan Faison says feel better, cuz P3. Yeah, pops. Whew.
man,
Since you said dental, my teeth started hurting over here.
my jaw.
Kimber Snipes gives us a good morning, y'all. Good morning to you. Arrows 402 says I would like to see the CWS team up with the Visitor Center and the Negro Baseball League. It's a good idea.
Hey, okay.
Also, RG says Marlon Miss Cheryl Weston might be in attendance, and if she is, she'll stream it. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Cheryl Weston. Go ahead and definitely check her page out. Cheryl Weston has been streaming a lot. I've seen her a couple places now with the camera out, and yeah, that's what we're working up to, man. If we
Man.
can really, and this is the reason why we're talking to volunteers and stuff right now. We got to get more cameras out here. And listen, today, whoever got a camera needs to come check this out.
Hungry Club.
Hit the Hungry Club. Go to Big Mama's at 1:30 today, because Michaela Danner's going to be up against Don Klein.
Man.
And this is a Meet the Candidates running for
Man.
Douglas County Attorney event. But I have a feeling it's going to be pretty heated from some of the comments that I've been seeing on Friends of and elsewhere.
Abiola, Elijah, where y'all at?
Come on, brother Kasim, he already chimed up. People done chimed up already. Because we never see our Douglas County Attorney around the neighborhoods. He's gonna be here today, so highly encourage you go if you can. With that, it's already 7:18. If you believe in the concept of time, let's go ahead and jump into today's thread, buddy. What else we talking about today?
Yeah, man. There's a lot to get into. We'll be following the money. Starting off today's episode is actually a lot of money things to touch on happening citywide. And actually, there's a new bond coming out of the city council meeting. Actually, not necessarily a new bond, but a change to the streetcar bond that might mean some more development. A lot of eyes have been on what's going on with the housing situation. Some changes in that regard. Also, definitely looking at what's going on with this actually $500 million proposed project. I'm seeing a lot of chatter on social media about this water project. If you haven't heard about it, again, $500 million investment from the city. A big project. Let's what does that mean? Also, speaking of what does it mean, definitely want to continue looking at the Iran situation. Of course, we talked about oil a little bit in the last episode, and shout out, I believe, to Channel 3. Yep, reporting on gas prices already going up in Nebraska. We're already seeing that, and this could just be the beginning. So again, I'm going to touch on that a little bit, but also dive into what this means for our candidates. We're still pushing the 6 to dismiss. Ricketts is on that list. And Dan Osborne, excuse me, going up against Ricketts. So we're still looking at that race and the whole 6 to dismiss situation in general. Of course, a lot of delegates, a lot of challengers actually speaking up about the Iran situation. So we're going to kind of look at that from a few different angles as far as the six to dismiss and what that means for your bottom line. Also, man, in the second hour, I mentioned earlier, I had some thoughts that I want to share about the future of predictive policing. And again, the logic that they're using behind this attack on Iran is kind of worrying me. So I'm going to talk about that and draw some connections to what's going on in Omaha and Nebraska. Of course, been talking about the bill to arrest our youth. Definitely have to talk about what's going on with our youth, as we mentioned again. Sister Zedeka Poindexter coming on a little later on for some positive things for our youth in the realm of literacy and poetry. But again, definitely going to talk about all of that. There's actually a bill surrounding literacy. So a lot to touch on throughout this episode. As always, let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. And if there's anything we're not talking about, excuse me, not talking about, missing the mark on, drop that into the chat. Any breaking news, let us know. We're here for the next 2 hours. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Word. Appreciate
What's the word?
everybody's in the chat right now. Areas 402 says there has been statistics that show the disparity between the sentencing of race and gender of the same offense. And he's speaking about that for Don Klein.
Okay.
Yeah, when we talk about six to dismiss, we definitely have to highlight some of the things that people feel like they need to leave those seats because of. And I'm going to be definitely gathering some of that information. But also is also very, very important to say if you want somebody out of the seat, who you going to put in the seat. So we'll have to be having our own discussion with Miss Michaela Danner at some point as well. But we can start getting to know what she's about at this candidate forum that's happening at Hungry Club today, Big Mamas. I'm going to keep pushing it because we all need to go 1:30 this afternoon. This is going down. If you can make it, cool. Make sure your cameras are charged. I see who said they were going? I say, Michelle Moreno says, I'll be there. That's what's up.
Hey, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Appreciate you. Yeah. So we'll be talking about it and more after the break. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and jump into the conversation. Again, if you're here on Facebook, do us a favor, share the show. Let's get as many people talking as we can here on this Wednesday. Again, it's Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. If you believe in the concept of dates and times.
Yeah.
We'll be right back, y'all. Stay tuned.
Let's go. Untamed. Wake up. Yeah. Wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. Wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. Wake up. You better wake up from this dream. Life is not what it seems. This culture's not your reality. You better unplug or be a casualty. Cause the life that we losing, the drugging and boozing is keeping us off from our greatness. We gotta spread the love and stop hating. Then rearrange these front pages. From murder and death to building our wealth. We moving in stealth. Milking the game till there's nothing left. And teaching my people to love themselves. I'm crashing on competition as an interference with the commission. Man, we tired of listening, so we standing up. Unification amongst us. Wake up, 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 wake up.
Welcome back.
Wake up.
Welcome back for Scott Omaha in the morning. All be buddy to God. Need a little wake up. If you're like us, you haven't been sleeping all the way through the night for various reasons. Yeah, man. You know what the game is. Let us know. Let us know how your sleep has been, and if you've had trouble and what you have done to do about it. We can definitely use some suggestions around here for sure, and I understand what's really happening. But we're gonna keep on trying because, like Marlon Harrison said, this is Wellness Wednesday.
Hey.
We all know that sleep is part of the wellness, so we gotta make sure we do what we do, handle it. With that, we're gonna jump into some conversation here. We get your thoughts together, get ready for some comments. I'd love to have a discussion about some of these topics. What's first on the agenda, buddy? What's happening?
Yeah, again, following the money citywide. Jumping off with a little bit of Omaha City Council apparently yesterday approved something that might be good, I guess. I definitely want to hear your take on that, Paul, in chat. Again, to the tune of millions of dollars actually being made available from a change to the streetcar bond that the city is using. Again, the city uses bond money to pay for the construction surrounding this massive streetcar project. With interest rates fluctuating, the latest rounds of bonds apparently are allowing the city to pay less and less in interest, which is apparently meaning the making millions of dollars available for other projects. Now, Paul, you kind of had an interesting comment about the businesses, which we haven't really talked about. Again, we got into the viability of businesses in Omaha, especially small minority-owned businesses, but businesses in general surrounding the streetcar project have been complaining about the negative effect that this project has had on their business. But apparently, that was a question, and that's not eligible. Money cannot go to helping some of those businesses that have been negatively impacted. However, Mayor John Ewing did make it clear that his priority is affordable housing, which I know Brother Anthony Rogers Wright hate the term. What does it really mean, affordable housing? But again, that is what the article is saying. Apparently, according to Jody Holston, who's executive director of Front Porch, shout out to Front Porch and the work that they've been doing in the realm of housing. Saying that there is currently a shortage of about 78,000 units, which actually is a double from what I've heard. I've heard that the figure closer to about 30, 35, 36,000 homes as far as your actual shortage. But again, here, according to Jody Holston in this article from KMTV3, 78,000 is the actual unit, saying affordable housing is key to all areas, so not just the individuals who are living in the housing. Of course, talking about building viable communities that invest and clean up and just again have a whole connection to society. So again, affordable housing, more affordable housing. Are we liking what we're seeing? What you thinking?
Well, like I said, as soon as I found out there was going to be some streetcar money, my first question was, are the businesses that are surrounding the streetcar construction going to get some help? Because they've been chiming up. There's been some activity there for sure. Some businesses that have been having some meetings and putting the question out to the mayor. We'd love to hear back from you what you're doing about this stuff, because some of the problems that they're having there with people not being able to get to their businesses and business being slowed down. These margins for businesses these days are pretty small, so it really does hurt the business when you can't get to it. And a lot of these people are showing now. This has been going on for a while. Streetcar is also behind schedule. So this has been going on for a while, and they're showing now numbers of, how much money they're losing in their businesses and how it's not sustainable. This goes on another 1 or 2 years, they're going to be out of business. Man. And the way that the streetcar construction is looking like it's going to do that. So my first question was, is some of that savings going to be able to go to them? This one of their demands, as a matter of fact, these groups that are getting together, they're saying, hey, give us some money to be able to float through the construction. Then can you do that? So I think they're going to be real heated when they read this article about the fact that there's going to be $10 million being saved from the streetcar situation, but none of that money can go to the surrounding businesses. I guess it's going to be cool that it goes to some the housing around there. But again, we always talk about this. Right. What is affordable housing? Right. We like the term low and moderate income housing, but they don't have that definition. So I don't know if the money would go to that. We have to kind of see what's happening there. But anyway, those are my thoughts on it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it as well. Yeah.
Actually, Brother Mark Manor has a comment in the chat that I want to acknowledge and just think about, and I want to ask you directly, while you tuned in, homers right downtown. It's not just this streetcar project, but just all the construction that's been downtown. We haven't really talked about what's going on with Mutual of Omaha construction in that building. And I'm just wondering, has traffic been impacted? Have you seen any decline or slowdown in traffic in businesses in the old market? Let me know in the chat. He says they need to make a project to support the businesses, but we know they want those businesses to close so they can put corporate chain stores and crony businesses. Are they clearing the path for like a I don't know, Gucci store along what's really going on?
That's an interesting viewpoint. Okay.
I like that. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, downtown. I mean, just ask Jitterbug Jordan about the construction around there.
Yeah. Shout out
to my man Jordan for real. That's what I was seeing when I was down. I was like, oh, that's right, because there's still the Mutual of Omaha building construction that's happening along the same line as the line is happening.
Man.
So it's just construction all the way up and down, and It has definitely personally affected. It was a couple of times I was trying to get over to the mayor's office for some stuff and was having a hard time getting there. And then there's a new vegan restaurant that my favorite DJ in town, DJ Crab Rangucci, was spinning at, and I was trying to get there and
Hey,
try some vegan food. Literally drove around Blackstone for until I just gave up. Like it's really, you really cannot reach these places. So it is really interesting. And then, when we read these articles, we find out more about the situation. We find out, of course, the mayor has come in on the streetcar. He wasn't the one that originated this. That was our last mayor, but it fell in his lap. Now it's his responsibility to get this thing done, and it's behind schedule. And now we're a couple years in, and folks is getting hot, and folks are like, we're about to shut down if we don't get some help.
yeah,
So,
feeling the pressure.
yeah,
Feeling the pressure. So.
appreciate that. Uh, Mark Manner in the chat says, honestly, our store has been good. We've seen an increase. Not going to lie, but our store is in the main tourist drag.
Yeah.
Right. You're not right on Farnham where all this construction is really happening, but parts of downtown a little bit better. And I'm glad that the record store is doing good because record stores need to do good. I
Man,
think
in
maybe it
general.
has a lot to do with going back to physical media, but that's a
Yeah.
story for another day. Appreciate it. Kimber in the chat says the Black and Brown Coalition is headed to Lincoln today to take people down and witness floor debates. That's what's up.
Okay. Okay. Which bills? Which bills? We'll actually be getting into some state legislature stuff here in a second.
There you go. Let's see. They need to make a project to support the businesses, but we know. Oh, we already talked about that. Yeah, that's a heavy point, Mark Manor, for real.
Man.
Also, Ariel's 402 says if the monies can't go to the businesses along the streetcar route, there should be money for marketing to remind people to shop along the construction route.
That's a good idea. The mayor. Hey, the mayor.
I got to push back on that one
Okay.
because the marketing is there. They've been doubly marketing out here, these businesses, because of the fact that nobody can get to them. The problem is getting to the businesses. Like if I think the solution is what they're asking for, which is to be able to have some kind of supplemental money for their businesses to be able to hang during this time, because it literally is, like all the new restaurants and places that have opened that were unlucky enough to open while all this stuff was going on, have been marketing their butts off to try to get people to understand what's up, and doing stuff like putting maps there and saying this is how you get to us, and all the stuff still is still affecting their bottom line, and because you just can't get there whether you know about it or not. So if they're going to put some money to something, they need to put some money to just sustaining those businesses while this construction continues. That's my opinion on it, for sure. Donnell Sessions in the chat, good morning, says, and these potholes are horrible. We got to talk about the potholes too. We stay talking about the streetcar, but have people potholes and sinkholes. That's another thing they're asking for the mayor. They're like, what you gonna do about these sinkholes? They're making national news. So at the same time this construction is going on, these potholes and sinkholes are happening.
Well, there has been some reports about timelines to fix the sinkholes, but I want to get into this next article because it might be connected, man. Because people have some ideas of where the city could be spending money, but the city has its own plans, and a substantial investment is causing quite a stir in another direction. Talking about this $500 million that the city is planning on spending for its water expansion, which might be kind of hard to invest in businesses and potholes and things when you're spending $500 million on some water, which they're saying that it's needed. But the real concern actually in this story is the contracting behind it. This has been reported by Nebraska Examiner. One of Nebraska's best known construction companies is challenging actually this move. Hawkins Construction Company, who has, of course, ties to the Lincoln Memorial Stadium, is fiercely actually pushing back what they're calling a nefarious city motive. The construction project has been signed with McCarthy Building Companies. Actually, the agreement is to the tune of $411 million. Again, in agreements with McCarthy Building Companies to build and expand the second phase of the Papillion Creek Water Resource Recovery Facility. Again, talking about Omaha Metro's wastewater, which I think Brother Anthony Rogers Wright has been very vocal about what's going on with the water situation in Nebraska, in the Omaha Metro area. But again, at the heart of kind of the pushback is the contracts. Some contracts not being, I guess, opened up to, if you will, a kind of a no bid situation with this contract. Omaha Mayor John Ewing, of course, as the head of the administration, is in the middle of this. Which again, McCarthy is a Missouri-based organization, so that is also worth pointing out that it is not a local company, but they did open a full-service office back in 2019. And again, not approving would likely result in significant delays, additional costs, and a lack of transparency that included in the contract with McCarthy, which of course is a portion saying that a lot of the construction will go to McCarthy, and some local developers not able to get in on that $500 million going towards the project. So again, we've been talking about, what that means as far as local developers and local contractors and how that can spur local, economic development, especially, that's kind of been the telltale of Atlanta. We talked about it last episode, how has Atlanta grown and become the, black economic mecca that it has. And that's because of local contractors getting kind of, bids and contracts to get a piece of the airport, to get a piece of highways and bridges that are being built. But when you see these types of, multi-million, $500 million projects going to out-of-state companies and no other contractors getting a piece, it's going to be some pushback.
Well, to check on this, Michael Watson in the chat said McCarthy has interesting business reviews and recent lawsuits.
I'm seeing some of that.
Some things to kind of dig into about this particular company that's making that claim. Snookered, I think, is the word they used in the. Nebraska's getting snookered.
Yeah, see,
snookered. So anyway, we'll have to, that's my thoughts on that. I think that it's funny that we're leading up to, like the state's deficit. It's
you know where I'm going.
Spoiler alert, the state is underwater.
We're broke.
It's just every stage. It's like the new construction stuff that's happening. This millions of dollars in this water thing, because we're also thinking about that too. This is MUD, and the water situation is going to be something that we're looking at just because of these data centers that are probably going to end up coming here and using a lot of it. So all of it, and then we always talk about the water tables. Matter of fact, Wanda Lewis in the chat is saying, "Is this water expansion part of the sewer separation project?" I was thinking that. I hope Wanda Lewis is going to bring this up again for sure. Yeah, if it is, then they have been collecting from each resident on a monthly basis for the approximately past 13 years. Yes, look at your bill. Wanda Lewis has been warning about this for a while. She says this is happening. You pay almost as much money as you pay for the water for the sewer separation of the situation as well. And that money, where does that money go to? And is some of the millions to this water waste project coming from that? Did we pay for it? Did we pay for it? Interesting stuff. While we're in the chat here, thinking about this, I just want to jump into the chat a little bit. I appreciate everybody that's going off. I saw Biko Kwanzaa. There he is. It says Biko Kwanzaa in the chat saying, "Good morning, First Sky family. This is Brother Kwanzaa in Philadelphia. I like listening to y'all, and I hope I can listen to what's going on over at Big Mama's today."
Man,
nice.
Nice. Get into that a little bit in the second hour too.
Yeah, but he says, in light of moving forward technology-wise, the streetcar construction project doesn't make sense. The places are already congested down there. Down in peace. I agree. But it is underway. The mayor, when the mayor came in, when Mayor Ewing came in, he determined we were too far into the project to turn back, and we just had to do what we had to do. But he is dealing with the backlash. He is dealing with the fact that it's late, and I'm glad they found some money to save on it. But man, that still doesn't solve some of the problems of the construction down there in a big way. Also, Pops in the chat says, to create you can't get there from here is a terrible business model that destroys small business. And most of the time, the government just doesn't care.
Man,
I know they care, but like I said, I don't know what they decided to do all this construction all at the same time everywhere. What it feels like in the city. And the reason why my man Jordan is blowing up all over the country is because somebody decided that they were going to do construction on the city everywhere, all over the city. At the same
projects.
Time. Huge projects. So the places that you would normally go to be able to detour and go around some construction is also getting constructed.
Detour to construction.
The detours, like seriously. So I mean, if it's like major streets, it's like side streets, it's major corners, it's major throughways. Kimber says she drives right through downtown. I figured out how to get through downtown too by avoiding a couple streets, but there's only one or two paths. I feel like you can get downtown without getting caught up.
Man, if everybody take it.
You gotta get somewhere like the courthouse or something. Good luck. Like like Jordan says, forget about it. Good luck. That's what it is. So and so it's really frustrating. And then on top of that, of course, there's potholes and sinkholes and stuff that are happening. We're getting national attention,
Man,
for that sinkhole incident where them two cars fell in. And then there's the one that that's downtown that still hasn't gotten fixed. And they're like, well, what about that one? It's been here for so many years. They've named it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, there's lore going on. I heard there's rap people that live down there now. That's word on the street. Yeah, that's word on the street.
Mayor Sanchez with some good ideas, possibly a shuttle to operate from one of the spare parking lots back and forth to the district and parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think somebody is doing that actually. Yeah, I've seen a whole lot of different solutions. I'm not sure. Also, Black Dynamite gives us a good morning, y'all. He said Wednesday, we're halfway there. Appreciate you coming in, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Big time. Also, RG says, and that's literally money leaving the state.
Man,
Yeah,
speaking of that,
mm-hmm.
speaking of that, you kind of spoiled it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
State's broke. The state is not looking good, man.
We're leading up to this.
Yeah, man, we're following the money, man. Omaha World Herald just dropped an article yesterday that got my eyebrows going up. I mean, we've been talking about following the deficit this season, follow the money, looking at the state's deficit. What does that mean for your bottom line? What does that mean for resources that you need, like, health and human services and other things?
Mm-hmm.
And the number is actually bigger than I've been saying. So, this is, and the headline does not help. Again, Omaha World Herald reporting, and it may get even worse. Nebraska faces a $874 million budget hole as tax cuts take effect. Yes, again, 874, almost twice as much as I've been saying. Again, I've been using the figure, the 460 million dollar shortfall that has been reported as of late. But now again, this latest figure, which I guess is coming from directly from the Legislative Committee on Appropriations and Revenue, that's looking at the tax revenue, that's doing it's tax time, it's tax season, so they're doing the audits, they're looking at it, and it's going the wrong direction. It's going the wrong direction, and there has been, again, millions of dollars moving. We didn't really get to talk about it too much last episode, but it was reported earlier this week, $130 million supposedly being moved from the state's budget, to go to other areas. Of course, we talked about environmental. We talked about veterans losing millions of dollars at the state level, not to mention actually, there's a shout out to Flatwater Free Press. There's an article they just released. You can check it out, talking about the child care situation and how the one big beautiful bill is going to take $1 billion from federal departments of health and human services, and of course at the state level there's going to be even more cuts. So yeah, financially, economically, not looking good at the state level.
There you go. Pops in the chat says, yeah, we are experiencing the same thing in Henderson in Las Vegas. There's hundreds of projects happening everywhere and lasting for years. They now call the orange cones the state flower. Wow. Cameron in the chat says, I'm curious if any of these businesses were in support of the project at any point in time. And she also asked a good question too. Do any of these businesses have insurance? There's insurance there too to take care of some of these things. Yeah, good questions for the businesses. They are letting themselves be known and having meetings and chiming up. So there'll be plenty of opportunity to ask them some questions too. And I think there's going to be definitely more discussion on this. One of the things that's happening and being taken away too, that was worth talking about is money from the arts. We were talking earlier about the situation where we had the Nebraska Endowment for the Arts, and that was helping us through the fact that the National Endowment for the Arts money was getting taken away by this administration, and now the state is trying to tap the Nebraska cultural endowment as well. and a few other things that are going on. So there's bills in the legislature right now where people are trying to fight because of that situation. And so in this state where art is really not the main personality of the state, it's not the main draw to the state. It's really hard to keep arts programs going and keep people involved and people motivated and to get kids going in it and to realize that there is careers in life within the arts. And you know that we're all about that. We're all about this love supreme idea of art soldiering and fighting everything you need to fight. So with that, we got a special guest that's about to come on that is an art soldier as well, and is in the good fight, still trying to do things for the babies in a big way. We'll take a quick break and come back and talk to her. Stay tuned. We got Zedeka Poindexter coming up after the break. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, that's me.
Hey.
Buddy to God, that's him. Chat chimers, that's you chiming
You.
up in the chat. Ghost listeners, that's you listening, not tapping no keys. And monitoring spirits, we don't even talk about you. We'll be right back. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God, and she is Zedeka Poindexter. Good morning.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing?
Doing
Good
great.
Yes,
How about
yes.
yourself?
I am doing okay. It's early. I am caffeinated. We're gonna be all right.
Okay. Well,
I
thank you.
hear that. We are talking about the lack of sleep that we've been getting here lately. Have you been sleeping all the way through the night? How's your sleep pattern doing?
Baby, I'm perimenopausal. No.
Okay.
Okay.
Michelle
Some
Trosper used to
part
call
of
them
my
inner
ner-
summer
some-
moments.
Some part of my system's got smoke from me each and every evening, but that's okay. I'm still
Mhm.
thriving.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said they got toddlers. They don't sleep all night either. I think it's an epidemic. I think we all ain't sleeping all night long.
No, if all of us could have a good night to just lay out like a starfish and get a good rest, I think everything could be a little bit better, or at least a little bit clearer, so you can move on to what you need to do the next day.
I heard
There you go.
that.
There you go.
Yo, you got me on one tonight. I'm gonna make sure I lay out, so I starfish out tonight.
Starfish. Stop.
Look,
Going down.
spread it.
Well, we really appreciate you coming through and talking to us. I love the work that you've been doing with Nebraska Writers Collective.
Thank you.
We love the kids around here, so we love the fact that there's some programming and stuff going on. But let's jump in from where we were at. How is it funding these situations here? I know that you've been a part of the funding situation for there and Omaha Entertainment and Arts Awards as well. Like we all trying to write grants and do things for these organizations to continue this art. So you being a person who has those skills, how's it been working for you?
It's never not difficult because arts always seems to get relegated to something that's not a subsistence needs, as if having outlets and expression is not something that all humans need to survive. So, but we are really lucky to have a pretty solid base of donors who are supporting our work. Although we always work hard to make sure that we honor those donors and look to get more people who are willing to invest in our work. And it's been different this last year because people who may have invested in the work that we're doing are switching their missions to things that they have to do for subsistence living to make sure people are able to get food, access to medicines, legal counsel, and all those things that are necessary in the day-to-day that weren't before. So it has been more difficult. But the thing about being in the knee-deep executive director position is that's what you sign up for. Rain or shine, you got to make sure you do what's necessary to get these programs out there for the people that they assist.
Well, I tell you what, I don't wish the executive directorship on anybody. I know what that job is, and so anybody who's doing it and maintaining, more power to you.
More
You're
power.
a strong woman. I tell you that.
Appreciate
Also, I have talked to a lot of funders myself too that are saying the same thing. Like, it's hard for us to think about funding an art project when we got to give people ain't eating out here. We got to
Man.
feed folks. So but luckily there are some people that, like you said, still
Mhm.
believe that this is also a need just as much as housing and anything else can be. It doesn't feel like it sometimes, but it really is. Like
Mhm.
we don't survive unless we are able to express.
Also, I think people struggle to look at arts as like even as a traditional skill for the office. If I can teach someone how to navigate the world of poetry slam, that means they know how to identify their thoughts, clearly communicate their thoughts, receive
Mhm,
feedback,
mhm.
and give feedback to others without attitude and absorb that information. They can stand flat-footed and communicate what they need. And if they do that, they can walk in any boardroom, classroom, work situation, community and investment opportunity, and be able to thrive because they have core skills that go beyond the art that they were worried about.
Yeah,
Man.
man, Paul, you kind of reminds me of what you say. How you look at journalism as far as
Mhm.
a way to, enter society and view society and navigate through society and kind of unlock a few doors just based on how you comprehend what's going on in society. And literacy goes a long way. So I am kind of curious, what are the programs and areas that you are offering, and how what impact do you see these programs having?
Oh, thank you so much for asking that because we're having a lot of fun this year celebrating a few
Uh-uh.
things. The thing that we're known most for is a program that used to be known as Louder Than a Bomb. We rebranded to All Rights Reserved a few years ago. It's a
Really?
youth
Okay.
poetry slam. It's statewide. We've had as many as 45 schools participating across Nebraska and Southwest Iowa. Pre-COVID, right now we're at about 30 some schools, and 26 of them are competing in our bigger tournament that launches in Lincoln on March 23rd and in Omaha on March 30th. We'll be on the Deuce at the
Okay.
Revive Center. That's a
Hey.
school. Yeah, it's a school year long program. So we get to send professional artists into schools to work with kids for the entire year, which is kind of what I was talking about, teaching life skills, teaching communication, teaching being able to communicate thoughts. And what some folks don't think about when they talk about arts funding is, yes, it's wonderful that we get to be stand and deliver to these kids. That also means that I am employing 40 teaching artists every year and paying them week over week to make sure that they are getting honored for their skills and paid. And that's really important to me as a writer myself.
Mhm.
That's what's up.
Uh, no one knows really the other things we do, which is wild to me because we're almost 20 years old now. We also have writer's block programs. We actually do month over month workshops in places of incarceration. We've been doing that for the last couple of years. We have a writers and community program, so someone calls us and asks for a poet to respond to a play or to come to a school. We get to do all of those fantastic things. We host poetry slams in Omaha and Lincoln. The Omaha one has been around 22 years.
Mm.
We have published books every year, 2 to 3 books a year through a small boutique press called NWC Press, and we crown a Nebraska Youth Poet Laureate every year. We're about to crown our seventh. It's wild to think
Mm.
that it's been that long.
Wow. Awesome. That poet laureate thing, I was looking at that, and
Mhm.
wasn't there the deadline's already passed, so you guys are already
Yep,
going.
the deadline just passed on Sunday, and every year
Mm.
we're sweating, waiting to see how many kids we have because we love to honor them. That's exactly it. And we give those kids $1,000 for themselves. We advocate for them to have performances, which they are paid for throughout the community. And we also give them $2,000 to create their own civic engagement project, so they can actually go out into the world. And let's say one person wanted to do a mobile mural to honor her neighborhood. Another person, this year's person, wanted to talk about ecology and planting and natural plants. So she's doing a series of workshops. It can be whatever moves that specific student, and we never know before we get them in. It's a fantastic partnership that we have with Civic Nebraska, who handles the mentoring for the creative part of their process.
Nice. This is awesome. I was looking at your post and seeing some of what the laureates receive. You just
Mhm.
talked about $1,000 prize, 2,000 to create a community engagement project. I love that. Paid readings, so teaching
Mhm.
people how to you actually make money doing poetry, going out and doing
That part.
poetry.
That
Not just
part.
make money, but know that they should demand it. Because I did a lot of work for the extra value
Mm.
meals, and that's not what's hot. You deserve to be paid for your art, or your, excuse me, your skill, whether that is an artistic skill or a corporate one.
Ooh. Boy, you dropping some real practical bombs on us with this. Like, I'm thinking we're gonna really dig into the spirit and the art and everything else, but the practicality of having this kind of training and being involved in this industry is flooring me right now. I'm loving hearing you talk about it.
I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
communication and literacy goes a long way.
All day, every day.
Speaking of literacy, buddy, I know we wanted to jump into that a little bit because
Sure.
there were some things that we were talking about. As a matter of fact, we saw this Black Literacy Matters conference coming up.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
it is out in Virginia, of course,
Mhm.
but we wanted to highlight it because one of the people here in town that's really highlighting literacy is the one that posted this. So I really appreciate that she did that, and this conference coming up has got me really thinking about how much we are pushing for that here in Nebraska, in Omaha, especially. The literacy is so important. So we wanted to jump in and really kind of talk about that, buddy. I'll let you go ahead and lead those
Yeah,
questions.
yeah. Getting into the realm of advocacy, and
Mhm.
again, one thing that we also kind of pay attention to. We actually had a Dr. Umar here on the show a couple seasons ago, and
Mhm.
he mentioned something that really stuck to us as far as the connection with literacy and the preschool to prison pipeline and that third grade threshold, and if certainly minorities, young individuals, especially young men of color, if they're not at reading level by the third grade, the chances of them going along the preschool to prison pipeline increases. And there's actually a bill, and I was just wanting to get your thoughts on that bill that's being pushed in Nebraska, and that deals just with that very thing, LB 1050, which was
Mhm.
introduced by Senator Dan Merman or Dave Merman, and which is again the bill that would basically hold students back, third graders back, who are not identified as having proficient reading deficiency. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts on this bill? Are you familiar with it? And yeah,
Mhm.
what are your thoughts?
I'm absolutely familiar with it. It's a little bit younger than our kids tend to skew, but the pure fact of the matter is if they don't reach that threshold, also by the time we reach them in middle school, like the ways that they've been struggling become really apparent to us very quickly. As a
Mm,
parent, the idea of suspensions for children that young is really, really difficult. It's a
me
rough
too.
pill for me to swallow
Me too.
because, yes, there's multiple levels of intervention, and the main one that seems to be the focus of this bill is to punish a child, not look at the many other factors that get us there, not the
Mm.
least of which is our children are seen to be more disruptive, more dangerous, more violent, older than they are. Those things have been proven fact over the years, and the fact that we are instilling something into this bill without looking at those other factors or pretending as if they are not out there when they have been well documented over time is a huge source of concern for me.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, it's definitely all wrapped up. There's a story that we're going to talk about a little later on the show that has to do with the parents getting punished for some of the things that the kids are doing, and I'm thinking about what you just said about how there's so many other factors that it just never sits right when we talk about suspending
Mhm,
kids, incarcerating kids, all the
mhm,
things that are happening because that's the developmental time. That's the time they're supposed to make mistakes and learn
mhm.
and try to and have some direction here with everything. So yeah,
mm.
I really go ahead.
I didn't connect the two, but the other bill that you're referring to, the to spend K through
Mhm.
second grade, which is
Yes,
crazy,
I'm sorry, I guess I
is
did go off on a tangent.
no, you're great. You're great because that is also a bill that I pulled up. And to Paul's point, they are connected. So much so I didn't catch this, but they were actually proposed by the same senator. LB
Mhm,
653 and LB 1050 were both proposed by Senator Dave Merman,
mhm,
most likely under pressure from Governor Jim Pillen. And all of these things are leading towards the preschool to prison pipeline.
Mm.
mhm.
Mm.
Absolutely. I mean, teachers deserve to be safe and to be able to navigate the space that they're in. That is, my grandmother
Absolutely.
was a teacher. My other grandmother was a para for years. Like, I get that. I understand it. I believe in that. Many things can be true. Teachers deserve safety, but so do those students. And the safety is not just physical. Safety is being able to go into a classroom where they report into and believe that they have the ability to succeed. Safety is having access to opportunity, the same opportunities across the city. Safety is literacy enhancements and other family work that makes sure these students are able to be in place and behave to the standard that's required of them. Safety is so many different things. It's accesses, and I want all of those for our kids
Right.
every day. My little piece of it is to make sure that they recognize that literacy is something that they can love, whatever way they access it, be it graphic novels or hip hop or Shakespeare, whatever it is. My job is to make sure that they love that thing and they can use it to access the world after that. But there's so many different pieces to this, and I really wish this bill wasn't where it was without taking into account, both of these bills were taken into account without looking at all the things that can tie into making a person whole and able to function within either at school and city environments.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the city environment, and because I'm
Mhm.
also thinking of the civic area.
Mhm.
Children who struggle with literacy become adults who struggle with literacy, and they
Mhm.
become voting adults who struggle with literacy and things like that. So I'm kind of curious, just as a parent and as somebody who also very cares about literacy, just tips on how to improve your literacy, and just things to look out for in general.
I
Write some
think
poems.
I think it's like you had to figure out which vegetable you was gonna eat because you have to have them because we have bodies that we need to honor.
Do
It's the
you
same
though?
thing with books. Somebody will tell you that canon is a certain group of individuals. It's the Shakespeare, it's the Walt Whitmans, it's all these old, very long gone
White
poets.
dudes. Hmm.
Yes, often. Occasionally they'll sprinkle in Emily Dickinson and some other writers. And I maintain that if we include Nikki Giovanni and Amari Baccarat and Kendrick Lamar and Tupac
Mm,
and people who are writing screenplays and people who are writing all those other things. We need to talk about literacy because those words and the power of them exist across all these spaces. And I feel like even if you're reading a work of fiction, if that work of fiction expands your mind to the point where you can better understand what it means when this bill comes up through the legislature, I don't care if you got
mhm.
that from reading anime. I don't. I
Mhm.
care that you are able to see the words, understand the words, know what people are trying to guide you to from the way they put those words on the page, and be able to move forward in a way that's effective.
Man, I really am appreciating right now. So, I was thinking of the Nebraska Writers Collective a certain way. I thought it was very valuable from an artistic standpoint for sure. And I knew about all the things that were happening with the kids, also like Writer's Block, inside and so on. And those are some great programs. But you, as executive director, I feel like it's taking the story to the next level with paying attention to what's going on with bills. The story that you're telling about what literacy and what writing and creative writing and stuff can do for kids is directly connected to some of these bills that you are obviously paying attention to in navigating the story of Nebraska Writers Collective within this
Mhm.
blockade of preschool to prison pipeline and using it as a force. We always at the end of our shows ask, what can we do? To me, you're telling me this is what Nebraska Writers Collective does. It intervenes in the all the reasons why we are living in society and what's going on now. It has a lot to do with that. When I think about people, a lot of times they talk about people in middle America sometimes that are just watching Fox. They don't really read much and they don't really get into the viewpoint of anybody else, and they're getting told everything, and that's the reason why they
Yeah.
vote a certain way and so on and so forth. Here it is that it's not just an artistic outlet. It's everything that you're describing. It's a way to be able to speak up, ask questions, talk to people, tell your thoughts and feelings, listen to what people's thoughts and feelings are without reacting. All the things that
Mhm.
you're saying is so practical and such a necessary move from the in necessary blockade from the preschool to prison pipeline. It's incredible. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. I maintain forever art is life, and the way that you access it and the way that you embrace it can navigate so many other ways that you move through the world. It's impossible to treat it as an ancillary part of the world that we move through.
That's right. And it's also breakfast time, so don't worry about your daughter doing what she's doing. It's all good. I know you giving her
You
them
can hear
looks.
that?
I know you're
Yeah,
giving her them looks, but don't worry about it. We know what time it is. It's all good.
I appreciate it. It is about to get in the back seat time.
Yeah.
Before we can I didn't mention something. If it's okay, I'd like
Mhm,
to.
absolutely.
please, please.
All right, so we normally crown a Nebraska Youth Poet Laureate, which is a program that we're incredibly proud of. We are actually the first member of the organization to have a statewide program that honors all parts of our state because we wanted to access voices with many that are rural and urban across all the things that Nebraska can be.
Right.
This year, we have the honor of hosting the commencement for the National Youth Poet Laureate. That's
Oh,
happening
Mm.
on Saturday, April 25th. It is a free event. People, of course, can make donations throughout that process, and it will be the first event that is held in Omaha Central Library this year. So you get
oh,
Hey.
So we're going to be the first big event. It's going to be fantastic. And if someone decides that they would like to sponsor us, we're also going to have a lovely donor party in advance, which will be featuring catering by the House of Ba.
Hey, okay, doing it
Yeah,
big.
the people in the
If I'm
world
not
that have not eaten House of Ba's food, y'all
man,
need to
hey,
treat
You should have
yourselves.
started. You
Miss
buried
Mom.
the lead. You should have started with that House of Bob
Yeah,
somewhere before anything else.
right.
Uh,
Missing
please
out.
send us over some material on that so we can really promote that.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
national. That's huge. I'm
Absolutely.
thinking Sister Amanda Gorman was the one that
She
yeah,
was the very first Youth Poet Laureate, and this year we're crowning the 10th in Omaha. It's never been in the Midwest before, so it's a
man.
huge.
That's wild.
Okay, beautiful.
Love
I
it.
want as many communities as many people as possible in that room. It's
Please.
about access. So maybe you'll hear
Yeah.
something that'll make sure we have another Youth Poet Laureate, or maybe it's going to be the next community leader who just figures out that poetry gave them a way to unlock it.
Give him a
Love it.
voice, man.
We'll have to have you back to promote that when we get closer to the date.
I
Also,
appreciate you. I love it.
somebody in the chat
Yeah.
also asked, where can you buy those books? The books that you were saying.
We are actually, because we are a small band of dedicated individuals, updating our website now. Those books should be available. If you come to our events, we will have hard copies available. Oh, and that's my team. I love them.
Hey,
And you can buy them at any of our events, which you'll be able to see on our website under the events page. And then you can also purchase them in the ballot at the next month online, which includes books and t-shirts.
Perfect.
there you go.
Thank you. This was
Thank
great.
you. I appreciate it. It's always good to see y'all's faces. So it's nice to be a part of the conversation instead of listening from my feed.
Oh, I appreciate you.
Well,
Thank you so much. We'll have you back soon.
All right. I love it. Let me know when and I'll be here.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Have a great morning.
Thank y'all. You too.
Bye-bye.
Peace, man. Hey, there you go.
Man, dude, I'm very impressed by what's going on over there for real. This is
Man.
pretty incredible.
Literacy
Pretty
matters, man. Literacy matters. You know, there's a reason they ain't let us read.
I know she had to get going. We didn't really get to talk about it, but there's a poetry fest coming up. This poetry festival in Sunday, March 8th. This is happening. This is the Nebraska Poet Laureate from before was Matt Mason. He's going to be there. He's a heavy hitter. Of course, Jewel Rogers, who's our state poet right now, heavy hitter, and then Zedeka Poindexter, who is also a heavy hitter. When I saw this flyer, I was like, "Ooh, they about to get some poetry for real." This some heavy hitting going on this bad boy right here. 306 West Elm Street in Bancroft, Nebraska. So they're going. This is a little ways out. Definitely check this out though, because man, putting these three together right here is going to be something else. And I wanted to be able to kind of talk a little bit about the scene, man. There's a heavy music scene here. There's a heavy film scene here with Omaha Film Festival happening. There's a heavy poetry scene here that got a lineage that we can talk about going all the way back to Verbal Gumbo back in the House of Loom days. Hold up just a minute, because I see Zedeka still sitting around here. You still here? Because I'm gonna bring you back in if you ain't ready to go yet. You still here? All right. Yeah, if you could turn your mic on real quick, I want to talk. I want to ask you about that show, if you could.
Oh,
yeah.
the show on Sunday? The show is wild because there was a young person who knew poets and is an artist and decided to contact a bunch of local people. And she actually painted portraits of all of us. And then that's what's going to be happening. They're going to be installing those portraits and then we get to perform with them as well.
I love it.
Yeah, that's dope.
That is dope.
Man, this Sunday.
Yes, it is this Sunday. There's a real live portrait of me around. I'm like, should I put this over my fireplace? Am I doing too much?
Hey,
you know what? I think that's such a beautiful notion that they did that. I'm just really impressed by the scene. And I was kind of rushing you off because I knew you had to go. So but when I saw you sitting there, I was like, I'm gonna bring her back in because the poetry scene that we have here. I don't think people really get like how heavy it is. It's just as heavy as all the other scenes that we have.
It's amazing. Like the Omaha Poetry Slam has been going for over 20 years. We have had teams who are national finalists in the National Poetry Slam. We have been publishing books. We have a National Poet Laureate who's from from Nebraska, Ted Kuzer. All of three of our current state poets have been, our poets have been amazing. Twyla Hansen, Matt Mason has been working in this communities across the state for years. Jewel Rogers is truly what is going to power the next generation of writers across the state as well and start connecting further out rural communities to places like Omaha and Lincoln in really impactful ways, I believe. We've been working for about 15 years with youth and a little bit longer than that in other areas. Like, we've got an amazing, intricate group of writers. And it's not just poets, though I love what I do and I call it out first. There's fiction writers and not and self-help books and so many different things that are out there. If you tap into what's been written in Nebraska, you'll find amazing, amazing work.
I witnessed your work and during the Verbal Gumbo days first, and I just want to give you some flowers while you're sitting here too. You're one of the most amazing poets that we got out here in a big way. Your voice is something else. Your artistry is something else. All the things that you into, I ain't gonna name them all right now because it's morning time and you got kids in the room. But you are a killer when it comes to the things that you do and the poems that you write and the delivery that you do. When I think about the experts out here, you're one of them, and I gotta say, all the way back from this lineage of when I first got in town, it was a Midwest poetry vibe. Shout out to Reggie Clark.
Yes, Rich.
Man,
Yes.
DJ Reggie C.
Come on, man.
Yes.
Reggie
Man.
C, bringing
And
out
Felicia.
Deaf Poetry Jam and all that to the show. I mean, we got a lineage here when it comes to the poetry in this town.
And plus, the work that Felicia Michelle did to actually bring that work along, which was kind of growing at the same time as the slam, actually a little bit before it. Like, they built a scene that I would put up against any place else I've traveled. Like, we put in the work to
On the
feature
real.
focus on the writing and focus on the performance and make sure that there were spaces that people could learn and thrive. I love that for us.
I love
Oh
it.
yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh man! All right. Well, thank you, man. I'll let you go this time for real. But thank you so much for coming back in. I wanted the chance to talk about our scene because that's where it all starts for me, and what's grown from it has been amazing.
It has been. If any of y'all are looking for events out there, check out our website events page, but also look at poetrymenu.com, which is curated by former state poet Matt Mason. That'll list pretty much any poetry event that you could want to get a hold of across the state. So no matter where you are listening to this, if you're in Nebraska, you can probably find something to tap into.
So across the state is good, but where the Love Jones shows at? What's going on? You know what I'm talking about.
The love down below's.
I need the love down
Yeah,
below.
we need to get that going again. Well, we need to see if we can get our sisters back as well. The Verbal Gumbo
That
reunion
part.
was the last time I
That
felt
part.
that.
That part.
That's real. Love it. All right, we got things.
Thank
We
you.
got things to plan. Let's do it.
All right, I appreciate y'all.
All right. Peace.
All right.
Bye.
All right. I won't.
For real
I'll
this
let her go for real this time.
For this time. Yeah.
I didn't get to your comments, but I appreciate you guys coming in with that. Tony Johnson was asking where can we purchase the books. There you go. Wanda Lewis said, is Jewel Rogers a part of that program? I don't think so. I don't think she's part of the Writers Collective program, but they are partnering so on some things. What Michael Watts is saying, OPS school board members should attend conferences. Black student reading is low every year. Definitely. Wanda Lewis says children are definitely teachable. They know how to swipe and navigate a tablet without hesitation. Man, lying. You are not lying. Also, Tony Johnson is saying, outside of schools, where in the community can one send a kid to get help with literacy? That's a good question. We'll have to look into that a little bit. We have a literacy kind of a literacy czar now in the city. Yeah.
We start with the library.
We got to talk about it. Talk with the library as well. Wanda Lewis says maybe we could focus on the learning tools and materials that children are interested in to collect their attention. Yep. I think it's, like I said, some people out here doing some good work that I didn't really realize as well. Also, Ariel's 402 says, hit the like button. Mayor Sanchez, was worried about is hearing this too and came up with a good idea about how to reach some third graders. So we got a little program that we're kind of putting together with Mayor Sanchez. Getting some books out to some third grade readers and in connection with African American Bookstore. Shout out to him for coming up with that idea, and we'll get it rolling here soon. I appreciate you doing that. We'll definitely be talking about it. Mm-hmm.
To that point, Michael Watts in the chat also says youth book club would be great in the community. Some of us could sponsor books for youth, which is exactly what Mayor Sanchez is doing. So yeah, maybe if you want to get down,
sponsor some books. There you go. RG said you turned into a ghost listener real quick. Quail Yarbrough said, "Hey y'all, nice to see you there. Haven't seen you for a while. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate all you guys being here right now. We're well into the second hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning. It is 8:13 or 8:14 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. Zedeka, are you back? Shake your head, yes or no. She just said goodbye. Okay.
No.
Just saying goodbye. All right. She is the wait. I can see the people in the waiting room, so I'm like, okay, all right. Yeah, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and jump back into the conversation. Again, you're in the second hour of First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'm Paul B.
Hey.
He's Buddy the God. We'll be right back, y'all. Stay tuned. She got me over here cracking up. Hot mic in it. You welcome back. Welcome back. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'm Paul B. He's Buddy the God. Thanks for joining us and staying with us here on this second hour. Definitely lots going on. I definitely wanted to highlight Pops. Pops has he put his drop out on the Lost Anthology. Lost 2, Volume 2 is out now on his site. And man, I had his link and lost it. I have to go back and get it again. But we'll get his link. It dropped on Sunday, so it's out there now. And I love this conversation that we're having. Should we go the route of mainstream, getting stuff on Spotify and all that kind of stuff, or should we follow this trend of going straight to the artist and buying straight from the artist? And then I can't wait to see how this turns out. So we'll definitely check it out, and I'll get you that link so you can go order Pop's album there. Appreciate that very much. And this is a great experiment. I'm looking forward to checking some of these things out. Also, something that I wanted to highlight before I got off the show today too is this. There's a piece that I believe is WOWT put out with
Man.
yeah, this piece right here. Let me see if I can find the link. Brother Franklin Thompson, who's an educator and family, by the way, is out here. It did a piece on history, Omaha history, and it was super powerful. I mean, they talked about Will Brown. I mean, they went into it. They talked about legacy in a big way. They definitely talked about if you don't know what's going on in the past, you don't really know how you're going to proceed in the future, and not erasing history is super important. It was powerful, and it was a well done piece by Brother Chapman over there on WWT. I highly suggest you hit that link and check it out in its entirety. I was very impressed by that and just kind of like floored, like, wow, they really laid it out. They really laid it out. Shout out to whoever put that in Friends of First Guy Omaha. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you hitting that link and checking that out. Brother Franklin gets down on it. With that, we can jump back into the conversation again. 8:18 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, I appreciate you sticking around. If you missed any parts of the interview that we just did with Zedeka Poindexter, please go back to YouTube and check it out. Like and subscribe while you're over there as well. Hit the bell, all that good stuff. It was a great conversation. We'll get back into it. We have to have more conversation about this scene, because of what she's explaining about it. No wonder the scene is so deep and so well attended and important. And shout out to Jewel Rogers, all the work she's doing. Shout out to Matt Mason. Shout out to everybody who's been a part of this scene, because it really is turning some folks out. Man, I'm sitting here thinking about Light Pole right now. Brother Light Pole, who I've seen at Verbal Gumbo several times blow everybody away with his poetry, is a serious hip hop artist, serious wordsmith. And just watching him grow over the years into the wordsmith that he is too, man, and also just being a powerful person in the scene in the city, planting your flag, making your statements, teaching folks. He's always part of the stigma, beyond the stigma meetings as well, and is able to express himself there too. And really, I'm seeing his effect on younger people in the city, just because he has the skills, and he developed a lot of those skills doing poetry, and it's huge. So yeah, I'm just very excited about it's such a love supreme thing. It's such a art is the answer piece for me. It's
Man,
great.
yeah, I mean, literacy goes a long way to just problem solving, all of that. You know what I mean? So, and definitely big shout out to all the literacy warriors out there, and also, it goes a long way in understanding what's going on in the world. Reading the news and connecting the dots, putting things in their right context. Which is something I do want to get into with all this Iran situation. I know it's a little far fetched from the love supreme, but we, got to talk about it a little bit, especially some things that I see on the horizon that I'm not hearing from other news outlets or other areas, which is quite interesting as far as the predictive policing side of things in this police state that we could be getting into. But before we get into that, just wanted to touch on the bottom line of this as far as the Iran situation goes. It's already been reported from KMTV3 that gas prices in Omaha are on the way up. Again, gas prices in Nebraska are climbing, and drivers in Omaha could feel more pain at the pump. Of course, not just for seasonal trends, which sees gas prices going up, but also, of course, the Iran situation, and more specifically, the pause of 20% of the world's crude oil being halted in the Strait of Hormuz, as again, Iran has put a stop on all of that. So again, a large percentage of the world's oil comes out of that one very, very thin stretch of waterway, again called the Strait of Hormuz, in between Iran and Saudi Arabia, close to Qatar. And this could not only mean, as far as direct, we kind of talked about it, direct gas prices going up, but in general, just goods. The only way to ship goods around the world is to, put them on boats, and boats need gas and oil to move. So again, it is very interesting how this will play out as far as our bottom line products, which have already been rocked by tariffs, which Trump is already pushing and doubling down on, at least for the next 150 days. So again, by all means, a lot of the top brass are saying that this could last a few weeks, which is a lot longer than some, products and goods will be able to last. So again, just a forecast as far as, what this war means on our bottom line, which is always the concern for us. What does it mean for us, and what can we do about it? Mayor, you know what I mean, as far as how to prepare for what's to come as a result of this war.
Yeah. Not to mention, I mean, people are really afraid of what's going on with this war. There's a lot of people that are coming back saying things are worse over there than they're even reporting. Of course, it's really hard to be able to understand what's being reported, if whether or not it's true. We're also stuck in that part of the thing as well to find out. So we are depending on our connections and people like that can give us some insight. But yeah, it's supposed to be pretty bad out there. I have a friend that lives in Russia that is saying that they have been testing the Russian warning sirens, nuclear warning sirens. And Putin, of course, has been saying that it's been unnecessary for that to happen, kind of condemning what happened with what the U.S. did with Iran. So it's got friends in Dubai right now that are saying that are in hotels looking at other hotels getting blown up, trying to get out of town. So yeah, there's a lot of things about this whole situation is affecting us, and it always trips me out when we got to talk back about things like gas prices. I mean, people are losing their lives. There's some of the servicemen that lost their lives are from here in Bellevue, and people are losing their lives here and losing their lives there, and it's really sad that they got all these excuses, but really, we know it's about the oil. This is why we're back here talking about this doggone gas prices. It's because of that. So it's, yeah. Yeah.
You looking at the chat?
Yeah.
I mean, what you, it's the second hour. What you thinking?
Yeah. I'm expressing it right now. Just thinking about the fact that, what is this for? Now we all live we're all kind of living in another form of fear now because of what could be happening over this. There's people that are trying to stand up and say you should have went through the proper channels with Congress, but before you started a war. Now it's
Hmm.
there's so much to this. It's hard for me to even zero in on something like a gas price or what's going on with the oil reserves and so on right now. We just kind of went through that with Venezuela too, because they were
Yeah,
one of the biggest oil producers, and they got cut off. They're now cut off from giving oil to Cuba, who was that was their biggest way to get resources, and now Cuba's over there in the dark because they
literally.
can't give Venezuela. I mean, it's so crazy that it's such a part of the conversation with everything that's happening, and how war justifies. For them, is just justified to be at war over these economics.
Man. And by all reports, it looks like this is the war that we actually can't necessarily afford right now, as they're saying that the stockpile of some of the missiles that we have and the defense systems that we have are limited. And yeah, where's the money going to come from? There's still the looming possibility of Trump administration having to send some millions back for the tariffs.
Hmm.
Still debates about the budget for Homeland Security. Money's looking tight.
I
Money's
mean,
looking tight.
is it though? Is it? I do that thing too. Sometimes I go. People be like, "Yo, you wanna go out to the brunch?" Man, I ain't got the money for brunch. Money is tight, bro. I ain't got no money for that. I mean, that ain't gonna stop me from, spending $200 somewhere else doing something that don't make no sense either.
Well,
But
yeah,
I'll
they
say
says
I
not
don't
enough
have
money
the
for
money for
healthcare.
that, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's also you're not able to trust none of it. None of it. No, nobody knows what's actually really going on, and they've made getting the information on that even harder. Firing folks, getting rid of whole departments and all kinds of stuff. So you really don't know what's happening, what's going on with money. Do we have the money? Do we have the stuff? How would we know if the stockpiles were low? We just don't know anything, and I think that as part of it's one of the tactics to keep everybody on the edge and stressed, and I just feel like for me, we got to kind of start with the communication. But if we can't trust that, then what are we looking at exactly? I mean, there's officials right now that are like, we can't trust his reasons for doing this. We have to speculate on his reasons for doing this. What can you do at that point?
Which brings me to the six to dismiss. That is one thing we can do. It's one of the lanes. Of course, you have Ricketts, who's has, and not just Ricketts, but several. Actually, the all Republican federal delegation of Nebraska, Ricketts and Fisher, they've supported what Trump is doing in Iran. So the six to dismiss. Dan Osborne is running against Ricketts. How does the people feel about Osborne? Are they liking what they're seeing? There's some controversy coming out of that race. But that is actually, I'm hearing, one of the races that actually national pundits are pointing towards this Nebraska race between Ricketts and Osborne as one of the races that could, tip the tides as far as what's going on in D.C. and whether or not Trump has the support to continue doing what he's already been doing. Yeah, that headline, you see that there. That headline is crazy. You're talking about plants as far as some of the other candidates that are now involved in the race. But of course, we know that this is pretty much a 2-horse race between Osborne and Ricketts. But we'll say
are we there? Is that what's going on now? Is it a 2-person race?
I mean, technically, it's by all means a rematch of Osborne and Ricketts. I mean, this is the second time around.
A lot of people have been talking about Osborne lately, and there's a lot of support for him in some of our circles for sure. I think we're going to be able to have him on. I believe we're going to have him on either Friday or next Wednesday, and so get your questions ready for Osborne because we'll be definitely talking to him if it is getting down to that. I know there were some other candidates running for the Senate as well, but I am definitely hearing more about Osborne right now, and of course, this situation seems to me a little bit like a never Trump type of situation as well. Like we, what I'm saying? People, a lot of people might be gravitating to him just so it's not Ricketts. Again, you know what I'm saying? Like they both are firing the race up, and there's a lot of support. Like I said, a lot of support for Osborne from a lot of people in our circles. But can he beat Ricketts? And what's he standing on there? I know there was a couple articles that we have brushed past that we're talking about some of the problems of some of the ways that he is doing things. Osborne, we're talking about.
Mhm.
This is one of the reasons why I want to have him on the show. Definitely have some talk about that, and maybe we as a group and chat chimers and everybody can kind of come up with some questions to kind of get to the bottom on some of those things. But a lot of people are just like, I know all I need to know in order to get him in because not Ricketts. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
and what's the other choices? Are there any other choices? Are we in that situation again where it's like somebody who is close to being able to unthrone Ricketts, and so we better get behind him because he can, or do we get behind him because of what he's about? Even if we kind of disagree with some of the things or whatever the deal, like we're in that situation again. And I got to go all the way back to the beginning just to understand, like, what kind of power does a person in the Senate seat have in the first place? What does it
Word.
really mean?
That's the federal delegation. That's your Congress. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and aspects like this with the war has the authority to actually declare it a war or to not, which basically handcuffs the president and what the military can do, among other things. Of course, the budget. I mean, there's there's a lot of power when it comes to that situation.
Yeah.
And is Dan Osborne the one that we want to have that power, or is it just, to your point, not Ricketts? A few people in the chat chiming up about what they're hearing. Michelle Marino says Miss Western, which I think she's talking about Cheryl Weston. She says Miss Western brought a great point about the other night. There is no diversity on his staff. Okay, so wonder what his stance on DEI really is. Talking about diversity. Also, Anthony Rogers writing in the chat says you should speak with labor folk about Osborne. He says there's much more than meets the eye. His stances on immigration and Palestine are going to do him in. Okay.
I mean, we're hearing now these reports that that's what did Kamala Harris in. So good questions. Again, we're at that point again. He's a military guy, and so there was some things about law enforcement and stuff like that I heard. That, again, can he even beat Ricketts if that's what it's coming down to in the first place? I was at a portion of the town hall the other day. Somebody was asking about how it went in North Omaha. Tony Johnson said, how did his event in North Omaha go? It was packed, a lot of people, and there was a lot of folks there. There was a lot of people who were were in support. Of course, they brought up some things that they were concerned about. It didn't seem like the right questions. Miss Cheryl Weston did ask a couple questions that I felt were more relevant and to understanding what's going on. She actually was one of the only ones that asked about the what his stance was on data centers coming to Nebraska. He kind of didn't feel like he had a really kind of I don't want to say not thought out, but a not too huge of a stance on them coming. He kind of was just like, well, AI is coming, they're coming. They should really, they should be paying for their own energy so it doesn't fall on us, and that was cool. That was his stance on that. I wanted to hear a little bit more about that, though. I wanted to hear if he knows more about AI and if he knows more about, a person in that position in the Senate. Kind of got to know some things about AI and how that's affecting everything.
Man, I mean, it's definitely the next big fight coming up.
Yeah, shout out to Michelle Moreno, who showed up at that meeting as well. Shout out to Allie Peeler. A lot of people from our First Sky Omaha fam was there. Brother Deshaun was there, I saw.
Hey.
So, a few people there asking some questions. It was kind of interesting. And again, I was happy to have a chance to talk to his team and talk about him coming on to the show and asking even more questions, having some more questions here. So we'll definitely talk about that.
And I mean, the real question is who's going to stop Trump? Like who's going to stand up to Trump and really get some ideas in there. RG saying that he kind of pointing that he feels like Osborne may not be that guy. Saying I remember when Osborne was going against Fisher, his ads as election day got closer were mighty Trump heavy, and they didn't do him any favors with folks already suffering Trump fatigue. So again, more the same. Did he learn? We'll see.
Good question. Wanda Lewis is saying changing of the guard is definitely needed on every level to include local and national. Let's start with the district attorney. I'm glad you reminded me about what's going on today. This is one of the most important things that's happening is happening today at the Hungry Club at Big Mama's Kitchen.
Man,
To meet the candidates running for Douglas County Attorney. Michaela Danner is going to be there, and Don Klein is going to be in town, which I think is heavy because we never see him.
yeah. And that's important too. Actually, in this last few minutes or so, I do want to get into my thoughts about this police
Sure.
state situation.
Sure, but I just want to remind people to definitely go. It's 1:30 today. Definitely go. Have your cameras charged because I think it's going to be one that everybody needs to capture. We're going to have to capture from all different kinds of sides so we can understand what's getting ready to happen here. I think there's going to be some people that are going to be speaking up. He's done. There's been some problems with Don Klein in the black community, and now he's coming to the black community, and we'll see how this pans out on the real.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yep. What's your thoughts, buddy?
Actually, before there's a couple comments in the chat that's leading up to it, so I wanted to acknowledge Anthony Rogers Wright also talking about Sister Jasmine Crockett's race in Texas, saying also her again Crockett's connection to Palestine and her stance on that situation says was led to her loss to Talarico in Texas last night, saying that support for the Zionist entity in AIPAC is a political albatross. But you know, some thoughts on that. But yes,
That's
definitely.
not what I'm understanding is one of the reasons why she's lost. That there's
Again,
things out here. Yeah.
Yeah, some thoughts on that, but that is a race that we are looking at as far as again what's happening in Texas with Sister Jasmine Crockett. And but also elsewhere in the chat, we have looks like a new name. Lauren Blake says, "How do I chime in?" Just the way you just asked that question. If you got it, the same way you just asked that question. Yeah, you just did. So if you have any comments or questions, definitely feel free to drop that into the chat. And yeah, we'll definitely love to hear your thoughts on this next topic, kind of going along the lines of Brother Anthony Rogers Wright is saying, talking about big tech and the dangers that it might have for policing, which I'm glad that a lot of people are paying attention to what's going on with the district attorney situation, because we got to talk about policing here in the future. Brother Anthony Rogers Wright saying big tech by law cannot pay for their own power. It's illegal to have private power production in Nebraska. And I'm glad we're touching on the AI, and I definitely agree with you, Paul, as far as who's in the Senate coming up in the future. If they don't know about AI or don't really have a strong stance on AI, that's going to be a point of contention for me and a point of concern because of the idea of predictive policing. And that's what I want to kind of finish this show on and really touch on communication and how we are navigating through the internet space and what is really happening with AI, these data centers, ICE, policing, even Nebraska companies helping with some of this technology, and the ideology that we're seeing behind the Iran war. Again, if you heard, the goalpost has moved a couple times, but as of last night, as of recently, as of yesterday, the ideology, the reasoning behind the U.S. attacking Iran is they're saying that they knew Iran was going to do something before they did it. They're saying that we knew, we had intelligence, we had some kind of predictive ability to foreshadow that if Israel attacked Iran, that Iran was going to attack us next. And so America took it upon itself to attack Iran before Iran could actually attack America. That is the ideology that is being pushed. And for me, that is,
you said he's saying
that's what they saying. That's what, you know, the Marco Rubios, and that's what they saying. That's what they're saying. And for me, that's alarming when you think about the idea of predictive policing and where all of this is going. For those of you who aren't familiar with the concept of predictive policing, let me go ahead and pull it up. This is an article actually from the United States Military University. So this is the military university. This is their education. Predictive policing is the idea. I'll just read from the article. It says, over time, law enforcement officials must adjust to new problems and find practical solutions. These problems include more complicated crimes, fewer available resources, and demands for an increase in police accountability and transparency. To combat these issues, various law enforcement agencies around the world began using predictive policing. Predictive policing involves using advanced statistics, algorithms, and machine learning to predict where crimes may happen. In other words, law enforcement officers and their supervisors make an effort to find suspects and intervene before they receive 911 calls. Predictive policing methods involve a system of crime prediction, crime pattern recognition, and crime analysis. All of that information is used to derive crime patterns and forge advanced systems to guide police department efforts. The predictive policing system has its advantages, such as crime reduction and the proper allocation of public services. However, it's equally important to not disregard the disadvantages of course, service inequality, a lack of public trust, especially in minority communities, wonder why, and potential privacy violations. When you take into account the fact that Nebraska just sent voter registration information, including your address, email, social security number, to the federal government for whatever reason. Not to mention some of the things that we're hearing about Anthropic, which is also being reportedly used in Iran, despite CEO of Anthropic saying, and Anthropic leadership saying that they don't want the U.S. military to use their AI model Claude. But here we are. And of course, the proliferation of data centers. What data are they going to be processing? You tell me. Am I tripping, or are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Your Minority Report, you mean? Predictive policing. Most definitely. Also, to tie that into what some of the surveillance stuff is happening as well, because that's the stuff that I'm looking into pretty deeply. Is the Palantirs and all the organizations that have been gathering our information and able to pick us up out of crowds right this minute.
Man,
Then how do you it's not like you won't be able to be found if they have predicted you're going to be part of something that's happening. They have absolutely been gathering information on everybody that's going out to protest, and especially so. And then of course these large language models have been helping them be able to locate people that they're considering illegals here, and sending ICE after them. So there's a lot. Of course, a lot going on with all these things coming together when it comes to that. And again, I think that anybody who is in those seats needs to have dug into this more. I haven't heard from anybody who knows much about it yet. Everything that I'm reading, I feel like is brand new information as of like the day I'm reading it, and I feel a little bit like who's keeping up with it that diligently, besides news gang people and it doesn't sound like a lot of these folks are relying on these stories enough to be able to get a grasp about what's happening here with that. Love to talk to somebody who kind of knows something that can make some kind of decisions and changes there myself. Jumping into the chat real quick, Mama God is saying Talarico and Crockett had some APAC scorecard, which was not the best.
Not the same.
Still talking about Jasmine Crockett's race. Yep. Also, Lauren Blake saying what we have given so much of our freedom away that our opposition is moot. Feels like that. I think the fight still has to continue on, but it feels like that. Like Dynamite says, sounds like hope and a prayer, kind of like I wish a brother would. Yeah, it does feel like that sometimes when we're talking about this kind of predictive policing that you're talking about. Michael Watts says, sounds like OPD playbook.
I mean, and to that point, shout out to Flatwater Free Press. Some of that technology is, surveillance technology as far as police goes, is being used in Nebraska. Again, they have the write-up of the Lincoln-based company that is, licensing some of their technology as far as policing and the ability to, I think it's to get into phones, to access to cellular devices without a warrant. That's being used already. So again, there are these data points and entry points already exist. We're talking about the system and the network being expanded and solidified. Yeah. And these data centers are kind of the infrastructure behind it.
First of all, if you're just joining us, we appreciate you coming in on the second hour here at First Sky Omaha in the morning. In this season that we're calling the season 4B, which is Follow the Money, and there were so many things that we had laid out here for this Follow the Money series that included what it is that we can do about our finances, how we can be more financially literate, and actually figure out what it means to gain some kind of economic power on top of following the money, holding people accountable for money that goes out, especially if it's our tax dollars that go out for things. And those are kind of surface level money things that are happening. But I can see this rest of the season really leaning in towards into this idea that we have to really kind of understand what's going on here with these large language models, and not just on the physical level where it takes data centers to come to town to be able to run them, which taps into our water, which increases our energy bill and so on, all those physical things, but also the way they're using AI in order to identify us, target us. There's so many things that we have to talk about here when it comes to that, because it's all going to that. It's also companies that are laying off thousands of people because AI has been taking over certain things too. Job market is happening there. The way that our governments are leaning more towards this crypto as the dollar falls, and how AI is going to be controlling crypto, and also all the way down to this idea. It's interesting that we're in this season of Follow the Money, but we have to talk about ChatGPT. We have to talk about Open AI, and we have to talk about Anthropic. We have to talk about these companies that are creating these large language models that they're putting in war machines and things, technology that is going into pinpointing, killing folks. I saw a post the other day that was like, it was a $50 million plane that was dropping an $8 million bomb on a group of people in Iran that make 50 cents a day.
Right.
So there's I feel a transition happening in the season, just in the subject of the season, that has so much to do with AI and how we are and unplugging.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That's kind of my thought. Like, we got to unplug, man. And I mentioned it, like unplugging from the matrix, but like really, like be aware of your digital footprint.
Right. Tony Johnson has reminded me only last 4 digits of Social Security number. The way that they've turned over our voting data with your all the information, including the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. This is all part of that as well. Tony Johnson is saying our desire with posting every aspect of life on social media have given them a deep library of information.
Definitely.
This is definitely partly our fault. Lauren Blake says, when we don't get to decide our policing freedom or our posture, we need to vote. Quite frankly, Osborne isn't a solution, but we should recognize his voice. Okay, appreciate your train of thought there on that. We have to all make those decisions. So again, we have asked for Osborne to come on. We'll definitely have him on, talk to him and other candidates that are running for these seats as well.
Yeah, man.
Also, Ariels 402 says if predictive policing exists, then we should have predictive preaching and predictive help to help people to keep people from harm. So there will be no need for predictive policing.
You would think.
Yeah, it'd be if they worked on some kind of law of fairness, then that might be something we could do. But it's not gonna matter what you do. If they decide they want to come get you, they'll do it. Also, anything positive is not a moneymaker for those controlling models and procedures.
And that's my exact thought. The fact that this is a moneymaker for them. You know what I mean? Like, do we have to talk about BlackRock and the investment, Core Civic and some of these other private prison models and, the warehouses that are being bought up? It's a moneymaker for them. Even the Iran situation, what's going on with that? We haven't really talked about it, but shout out to Democracy Now! They were reporting on some of the betting that's going on. If you've been these Cowshe models, and how apparently one of Trump's sons is invested in these real time betting models like Cowshe that allowed their betting on. It's a report that there was a multi-million-dollar bet on when America will bomb Iran, and down to the hour before the news broke, there were being bets placed on that. And there's connection to the Trump administration. I think the New York Times has a whole article about how the Trump administration is making money off of all of this. So to Tony Johnson's point, this is This is the money making move. This is business as usual. There you go, right there. Mama got in the chat saying reports say Iran was accepting Kushner and company demands in negotiation, but U.S. walked away. Bibi did not want agreement, and he wanted hegemony.
Man, that's wild. Um, that is something that's something I want to. We got. I don't know if anybody is involved with any of that stuff, but this betting thing is so gross.
But we talked about it. The stock market, like, that's where the money is. That's where the money is moving right now. People are placing bets, insider trading. Is that the type of system we want to invest in and be a part of?
This is wild. Lauren Blake in the chat is saying I am inmate 39546. Old school. My degree in Black Studies seems like a paperweight. Beyond the stigma with Brother Johnny No Good is a safe space for growth and progression. Boy, we
definitely
feel that way. We promote that event every time it happens. I really appreciate you bringing that back up. It's definitely a place where we can kind of decompress and have some real conversation there. Also, Biko Kwanzaa says, Dr. King once said, we live in an age of guided missiles and misguided people. Put it on them. Let's take a quick break and we're going to come back and wrap up the show. Again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning. You just joined us. Please follow us over on Facebook, YouTube, all the places so that you can continue. We do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 7 to 9. If you're just joining us and you're brand new, we appreciate you chiming up in the chat. We use the chat as a respectful place where we speak to each other as if we're speaking face to face. And we're here to try to learn from each other, and that's what it's about. Appreciate you guys respecting that. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Hey. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the God.
Hey.
We're here with you, chat chimers, new and old. We appreciate everybody coming in, man. All the new names and faces as well. We appreciate that. Christy Nora in the chat says, I hope people will vote for change. I mean, man. And shout out to you, Christy Nora, for putting your money where your mouth is too, running for an office, running for a seat, and putting in the work and all the things you got to face doing that. It's not for the weak hearted.
Right.
You get put right out there. Appreciate you doing that and coming on in. You're right. We gotta vote for change. We gotta vote for change. And if we don't want people in the seat, we got to think about who we putting in that place.
That part.
Right now, we're looking at Michaela Danner in order to replace Don Klein. They're going to be at the Hungry Club today, Miss Big Mamas, today at 1:30. Highly encourage you go. Saw it and I was just like, okay, yeah, the way the flyer reads, meet the candidates running for Douglas County Attorney. That sounds great. Except for there's some context in here. We read between the lines. Don Klein hardly ever comes to Northside. Don Klein has had a big problem with Northside folks, Northside leaders. And it's going to be real interesting that he's coming to the Northside because this election year, when you see a lot of these folks, election year, we have been talking to, there's been a problem with this cat for years and years and years. Then got you used to calling him Don Klein on this show because of the KKK situation, like connotation. It's a trip. Here we are, though. All he is a dude who got elected to this position. Can we elect somebody else in that position who might have a different viewpoint? I highly encourage you show up today. Highly encourage you make your presence felt. Highly encourage you keep your phones charged and keep and record it all. It's happening today at 1:30 at Big Mama's Kitchen. Definitely check it out.
There you go.
So with that, the rest of the show, we only got a few more minutes left here, about 6 more minutes, as a matter of fact. Mama Guy said, do we know if food snacks served?
Yeah, it's Big Mama's.
Big Mama gonna have some food.
For sure.
Like Black Diamond says, what? Next thing you know, those bets will be turning into things like movie The Hunt or the scene from Squid Games where all the higher ups are talking bets on players. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Bro.
You ever seen Rat Race?
They're betting on lives right now, bro. There's these systems out there that allow you to bet on everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Mama God talking about a predictive market. That's what it's called. She says predictive market is real. Betting on wars and strikes, tariffs starting and stopping, all of that. That crazy.
What's crazy to me that was so like underground and so, dark web type of stuff before, and now it's mainstream now.
Yeah, man.
That's what's crazy to me.
And you got Trump adjacent folk who've been investing in it since the beginning, creating the large language models and algorithms and machine learning models to actually create these predictive markets. It's all AI. Again, to your point, man, having people in Congress that don't understand AI is going to be a big fight coming up. How do we regulate? How do we legislate this beast? And it's seeping into every aspect, and it's in every aspect of our lives.
Yeah.
If you use Google, if you use the internet, you're using AI.
Well, and it's so much more than even just that.
Right.
They've reached a new level now of being able to. And each time they get better and they reach a new level. It just happened a couple of days ago where they reached another milestone. Anthropic reached another milestone to be able to basically go into your system and go to all your folders, go to all your things, and do anything you need. It's like having a second brain. And they're talking about the progression of the model in the first place. As the time goes by, the model gets more deep, gets deeper, gets better, gets stronger, gets more human-like, gets more able to do more things, and that's happening as we go all the time. And to the point now where pretty much everybody who's in any kind of higher up position is depending on what AI is telling them to do on everything. Christy Norris says they are trying to cut funding for DD-TBI waiver, and Pillin has the audacity to declare March DD month. He has got to go. Okay.
What is DD month?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I hear you. We'll see. Well, like I said, we'll have to bring Osborne on, ask some questions, and everybody who's running for any of these seats that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We need to find out where they stand and see what's happening and offer suggestions. I do understand that from certain politicians that we do talk to, that a lot of times when they're making their rounds and talking about their run, they learn a bunch of stuff from groups that are like, well, what about this? And they got to kind of at the time say, I don't know too much about it, but I'll go look into it. And they come back with some answers. It's kind of a learning experience for them as well. So we'll see. Anyway, yeah, appreciate that. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. We got about 2 minutes left in the show, buddy. How you want to end? How do you want to leave with?
A couple people in the chat answered my question. DD is developmental disability. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. But yeah, just kind of wrapping up, man. Final thoughts on the situation. Again, I know we try to end the show or end these conversations with well, what can you do? Just some more practical steps on, not just doom and gloom, but what can we do? Take more power and more agency in our lives. And I will say with that, this predictive policing and what's going on with AI and just data management in general. It's not AI, it's how it's being used. The AI is just a tool. Like AI is ultimately just a tool. And there's people like the CEO of Anthropic who are trying to be responsible with that tool. But also there's people who are being irresponsible with the tool. So with that, we have to be responsible with the information that we're sending out. Of course, a lot of our information is already out there, but again, just be more mindful of how you navigate through these spaces especially the information that you share on social media and things like that. And try to, so we talked about literacy earlier. Media literacy and goes a long way as well. Not just reading, but being able to look at a video and say, "Hey, is that AI? Is how this person moving?" You man, it's real. There's been a couple times where Mama God, I'm like, "Hey, mom, it's not a real person." What I'm saying, there's this YouTube video that you're watching. You might want to look a little closer or look for AI watermark that's hiding in the corner. Like all of these things, we have to again be wary of. So continue to educate yourselves. Continue to be mindful is the first step in this, and continue to talk. Each one teach one with that. So let's keep it moving. And of course, 6 to dismiss is coming up. So, get ready to vote. Get ready for that. In the meantime, between time, catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul?
In the morning.
Hey. And yeah, big shout out to all the first time listeners, last time listeners. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. Come on back. So,
Yep.
Go ahead,
Like
take it
that.
away.
Like Dynamite? No.
No.
Last one I want to put out there, Herbine in the chat. Good morning. Says
Yes.
Grand Rising. I'm sorry I came in late on this one. No, we don't. We are the original people. The Babylonian system is failing. Iran, Persia, Iran is in their playbook. The Biblios, the flat currency becoming digitized, matrix money, restoration of the matriarch. Keep records going because they sure recording you. Keep recorders going because they're sure recording you. Art imitates life. Look for updates to the war games. Won't need boot soldiers. They have people home with their remotes. Sorry, I'm commenting as you go. MK Ultra Chat GPT.
Just throwing it all out there.
Throwing it all out. I love it.
Yeah. The Manchurian Candidate, all of it.
All of that. I was just talking to somebody about that yesterday. They were just like, "Well, what's going to happen when they put that model in the computer? The computer's absolutely going to press that button." I'm like, "War Games was the movie in 1985. We've been talking about this."
They are testing the models, and they did come out and say like once AI never backs down. Like 90% of the time, AI always goes to nuclear war.
Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? We appreciate you guys joining us. Yeah, Black Diamond, I'm just playing with you. Yeah, we still haven't made that thought about the 3 hours yet. We are spending that time though working on some other material. So definitely go to YouTube and check out when we have new releases, new videos that are dropping, and those things as well. We have to move into those directions too. But I appreciate you guys really wanting to continue the conversation. Please do that over on Friends of First Sky Omaha.
Yeah.
Which is our group page, which is the conversation happens when we're not live here. It's on Facebook, so we appreciate you. Pops in the chat says, thank you for another great show. You guys are appreciated much more deeply than you could ever know. Love you and see you on Friday. Appreciate you, Pops.
Thank you.
Most definitely. Marlon Harrison says, to end on a positive note, please come and celebrate as the Omaha North High girls basketball team head to state. Heard that's the first time that's happened in a while, right?
V's up. Yeah, in basketball, we've been running things in football, running things. But yeah. Shout out to the Lady Vikings.
Girls basketball now. That's what's up. All right. Appreciate that positive note. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys joining us today. Thanks to the Umaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. Shout out to you, the chat chimers, coming in respectfully, respecting the guests, having some great comments and great additions to the conversation. It really does help. Appreciate that very much. I see Lakeisha Green giving us what's happening over there at Union for Contemporary Art. Happy birthday, by the way. I heard it's your birthday here recently. That's what's up. Shout out to Lakeisha Green. Shout out to all of you. We'll be back on Friday. We will possibly have Dan Osborne on Friday. If not, it'll be next Wednesday. Trying to arrange that with his schedule as well. And just trying to arrange all the people, all the candidates that we want to talk to. Let us know what's happening. Also, don't forget on Monday we'll be having the Senator Cipher. We will be back talking to Senator Terrell McKinney and Senator Ashley Spivey. So get your questions ready for Monday as well. Lots to talk about with the legislature on fire like it is right now. Man, lots happening. And don't forget, please go to the Great Plains Black History Museum. Go to their site, hit that QR code, and vote. This is for Visit Omaha, so this could be huge for them. They're kind of the underdog here, so we want to just put the word out. Go vote for them as a destination for people who are coming in from outside of Omaha that want a place to go check out. Come check us out on the Deuce.
Tell the world about the Deuce.
Tell the world about the Deuce. And if you can, make it today at 1:30. Highly encourage you to show up here, show a force here at the Big Mama's big time. This is one of the only times you'll catch Don Klein on the north side as far as this is concerned, as far as as far as him being on the flyer and coming out and speaking in public. So yeah, bring your cameras, bring your questions, and yeah, let's see what's happening. And more importantly, while this is happening, get to know what Michaela Danner is about as well, because we don't want to forget that just because we want to be like anybody but Klein, we still got to find out what the people who are running for the seats are about as well, so we don't end up getting somebody worse in the seat. Can't imagine that happening, but it's still good to get to know the candidate. So shout out to Big Mama's Kitchen for doing that. Shout out to you for joining us. Shout out to you. I say Lakeisha Green gives you thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Herbean says love y'all. They are the ish Lady Vikings. That's what's up, Lady Vikings.
V's up.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate you guys just coming in. And Donnell Sessions says I truly appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Hey,
thank you. Can't do this without you guys. Spread the word. Do us a favor again. Go to YouTube, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you want to be support us doing this, then please go to firstskyOmaha.com and hit the join button. Become a reoccurring member or sponsor of the channel as well, so that we can continue this and have it grow. We're looking at content creator camps coming up here in spring. As we move a little closer to the middle of the spring, we're going to be throwing some more classes out there. So if you got people, young people especially, who are interested in doing some reporting and learning how to expand their minds there on that level, man,
get at us,
man. Zedeka Poindexter coming here talking about,
I knew it.
got me thinking about that mission. I mean, that's what we do in Content Creator Camp. We trying to create folks that know how to be in them rooms and speak up and have something to say and have something to dig into. And she's doing the same thing with the youth over there at Nebraska Writers Collective. So definitely check into their organization and support their organization as well. And if you miss any parts of that interview, please go back to YouTube and listen to it. It's not just an organization that has poetry and turns out poets, but it is teaching people how to be able to express themselves and speak up and comprehend what they're listening to and reading and doing. And it's civics all day long. I'm very impressed by what this organization is doing and how they use the arts in order to battle all this stuff. Definitely check it out. Shout out to Zedeka Poindexter for coming in today. For real. With that, we're going to go ahead and leave you guys. We'll see you on Friday, bright and early, 7 o'clock. Stay dry. It's supposed to be a little wet outside today, but stay cool. Weather's halfway decent for Omaha right now. Could be worse. I'll take it.
Take it.
We'll see you guys on Friday. Peace.
Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red